Okay.
I don't know. Fuck, D4 like seems hard. But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
if I could get up a little more in diamond, maybe like D2, that'd be super cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just play League casually. I think it's a very fun game,
Yeah.
and ADC is very fun right now.
Yeah. All right. Is it mostly? I guess it's mostly Jinx you're playing, right? Like pretty much exclusively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just think she has the coolest kit in the game, and she's just so smooth to play. Um, so I've been doing that mostly. I am interested in other champs.
Yeah.
Um, I know you don't play a ton of Jinx. I've seen like your Kaisa
I do
streams and stuff
play. I do play
sometimes.
Jinx, but I think it kind of just became meta, you know. So I have to pick her up
Right.
again. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, now I'm kind of playing support at the moment. I'm having so much fun like playing support.
Oh,
So there's
interesting.
that as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. I mean, I'm already sharing. Just let me know when you're watching.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna get right into this shit. If I ask you about this matchup, Jinx Braum versus Caitlyn Senna, what do you think like happens? Like, who has the prio? Who has the push? Who is like? What is at what levels are you strong? For example, what do you? There's no right or wrong answer, right? I just wanna get some information from you.
Yeah, I think they definitely have early prio. Braum level 1 is kind of shitty. I haven't played it with a ton of Braum, but like basically we just get poked and life is hard. Caitlyn
Yeah.
has 50 more range on me at level
Mm-hmm.
1. I think once if I get like level 5, level 7 in this matchup, I could start auto harassing Kate, but like until then I just want to survive.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't really know how the support interaction works, but
Mm-hmm.
Braum's just kind of useless.
Yeah, he gets fucked, bro. Like, he gets fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for starters, whenever I play this matchup, like I have a melee support into double ranged. I don't think. I mean, I know that they're not gonna play for all-ins, right? They will look to poke you down. You know, Kate, as you mentioned yourself, Caitlyn will use her range to like thin you down, like slowly. And personally, I think that the first base, like before the first base, that's the hardest part for you. I think like that's where you know, as you mentioned, right? Braum cannot really interact with Senna, so you guys are just gonna get poked. This is the reason why I would not go D-Blade in this game, because I only take D-Blade into all-in lanes. Even after the buffs, I think it's not sufficient enough to out-sustain longsword and 3 pots, because once again, whenever I play this, I'm just looking to survive the first base, and I'm actually I'm trying to at least, if I start longsword, I can base like 3 waves earlier than what I can do if I start D-Blade, because I want Noonquiver, right? Like for my first base, ideally. I think if you can get that, then you're level 5, then I think the lane is a lot more smoother. But I think this extra 20 HP or like the 100 HP that you get from D-Blade it's really nice if you play into Nautilus. But I think in this game, I would much rather just have the extra pots to survive. Is this something you
Okay, yeah.
usually do? You always go D-Blade, or?
I actually always do it. I'm too greedy with the HP and even with the Omni Vamp. I know that sounds newbie. And I hate like chugging a potion. Like I have too much ego to like waste gold.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna start trying it.
Yeah. So just as I mentioned, right? Like it's just for the fact that I think the first before the first base, that's what's hardest. And I always try to get Noonquiver if I play Jinx or play any hyper carry. Like I mean, it's same with like Saya, Kai'Sa, Seri. To be fair, like don't look at my Seri win rate. But so that's the reason why, right? I also get like I can base a lot earlier than I can like having D-Blade. So there's something to think about, right? I think as well in a lot of my games where I mean a lot of my sessions rather, I see that both bot lanes are leashing like a fuck ton. And I think that this is a really big mistake from Caitlyn Senna in this game, because I think that if they are lane level 1, they can start a slow push and you actually cannot interact with them like at all. But now what happens, and this is a good thing, where I think if you are a bit more mindful about when you leash, because most junglers, I mean I haven't personally played with Morgana jungle this patch, but most junglers, like if not all junglers, can clear alone. Like they can, like maybe they, maybe by helping them, maybe by helping you gain like 5 extra seconds, but it's not like sufficient enough. What I've tried to coach a lot in my sessions is I feel like you're doing this well, to be fair here. Like your CS is decent, like, you know.
It's actually not that good.
But you have a lot of kills, I guess, to compensate for that. So what I try to teach is how to make the game a lot more revolved around you, and like, you know, you play on your terms, like your spikes, your so that you are not so dependent on your team as much, you know. Like, of course we need our teammates to be connected to the game to be able to win, but I'm trying to make the game a lot more around your own decisions, and where you can get consistently like ahead a lot more often than what usually happens, right? So in this game, I think it's something you should remember, like because if they leash this game and you don't, personally, I think you already skipped the hardest part of your lane phase, which is like, you know, the first 2 levels, or like the first 4 levels, I think is the hardest for sure. So here, if you don't leash, then you already can secure a slow push. And since you're playing Jinx, it's actually so fucking OP. Like, you don't even need to have a slow push, but you just need to negate their slow push in a way, you know? Because, as you mentioned, you're just playing to survive the lane phase early. And how can they poke you? How can they get plates if they don't have a way, right? So that's something I would keep in mind. I know the counter argument for this is like, oh, my jungler will get tilted if I don't leash, or blah blah blah. But to be honest, I haven't seen this like enough for it to be like a valid argument. I think just being aware of when you leash or not is really good, because
well, yeah, for sure. I mean, in high elo, no one's leashing, I feel like. So that makes sense. But then, okay, so before we go and see what actually happens, so if they leash and we don't, then what? Like, Braum stands in the. I just don't understand, like, why, you know, we're in the lane. Let's say I've killed like what would I do? I just like last hit and Braum stands in the bush and we try to zone. Don't we just lose an all in if they just walk at us?
Okay.
Or like,
okay.
I don't get it.
Yeah, fair. So I think that, or I mean, this I pretty much know that everything about lane phase is played around 2 things: the size of this wave and the position of it. My point is that if you here in I will write a 4-step process here. I think it's actually important for you to know. One sec. Okay, so you don't have to understand all of this, but basically what this means is that if you're in lane first here, let's imagine that, you can effectively, you can just, I mean, I assume you're Emma, right? Like, you for sure know how to slow push and stuff like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so the thing is that this Caitlyn and Senna, they need creeps to be able to poke you down. And if you have a much bigger wave than they do, level 1 already, then you actually allow Braum to, you know, step in here. Maybe you can find a Q and you can just auto them because you are playing with the size of your wave. That's the most important part, is that the bigger wave you have and the less bigger wave that they have, it's actually so much harder for them because they have to deal with the creeps rather than dealing with your HP, you know? Like, they want to ideally have a bigger push than you do so that you have to worry about the wave. And they can then focus their attacks on, you know, poking you down. But in this case, for example, if you are in lane here first and you just you delete this minion, I think what I would do is probably I would just rocket. If you were in lane, I would just rocket this wave, like these 3, like twice. And what I'm trying to do is just build myself an advantage of having more auto attacks done on the wave before they actually even come into lane. And my point is with that is that if you secure lane control, you have more minions than your opponent, they have to suddenly respect you, actually. Because even if they're playing Senna, if you can then take over this brush maybe with Braum, let's hope that he does that, then it's just so much harder for them to secure the slow push, and your only goal is really to not let them stack a wave and pushing you into tower. Like for here, for example, I tell you about this 4-step process, and I tell you this second step. Like once you have control of the wave, you want to stop push and you want to look to last hit and stack a big wave, and you want to try to put your focus a lot more on actually focusing on your creep's HP, because that's when Caitlyn would step up and auto attack, and you can then maybe threaten an out on her, right? But in this specific matchup, it is a bit trickier because you're playing Caitlyn like into double range, right? And you have a melee support. So this process that I tell you about it's applicable in like almost every single lane. But in this matchup, personally, what I would do is I just look to negate their push. Like I don't really mind if I don't have a big fat wave in the tower, but all I'm looking to do is just delete this and then just look to thin out the waves as much as I can without taking damage from Senna, right? And then I just play from there. The thing is just I'm trying to ask myself in every game, like what do I want to achieve in this lane? And I think you kind of said it well yourself. Like you just look to survive like the first couple of levels, and then when you get like level 5, level 6, I think it's like a lot easier for you to play. And then I also have to ask, I'm gonna write this down actually. I think it's smart. What do I want to do in this lane? What does my opponent want to do in this lane? So if we answer their question, right, they want to slow push waves, they want to get plates, they want to poke you on the tower, they want to be perma in your face, right? So that's literally the only reason I tell you to not leash this game, is that you can negate a lot of their game plan by just being in lane first and pushing them in. I'm not saying that you're gonna have perma push this lane, this game, but just because you don't leash, but it's just for the fact that you can negate the first 3 waves, they should have the slow push, right? And then I'm not sure if you know this, but like once they let's imagine that you are both in lane at the same time and they get a slow push, they will stack 3 waves if they're good players, and they will crash it into your tower, look to get 1 plate, but then the wave is gonna be then it's gonna be essentially your turn to play afterwards, because because the wave is gonna be positioned like pretty much here on your side of the lane. It's a lot more safe for you to start a slow push then. It's a lot more riskier for them to actually push their advantage. So League is basically played in turns. So that's what I'm saying, that like if you can get a slow push level 1 already, you negate their first 3 waves, and then all you have to do is just crash the 3rd wave and then respect their bounce, right? Which they will have. And then you can just play off of the bounces. Like their wave will bounce, and maybe you can look to base, get full HP, right, and just once again survive the hardest part of your lane, which is the first like 4 levels. So that's the reason why. Does that make sense, or is it still like unclear?
Yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Do you think? Okay, yeah, not to go into too many specifics, but like, okay, I auto the I rocket the casters a couple times. That makes sense.
So I will tell you
I'm ahead in
exactly
the
what
autos.
I would do with the wave. Like
Yeah.
I would auto this like once or twice, and then I would be really aware of my minions' HP. So I'm kind of adapting afterwards to what they are doing. Like is Caitlyn throwing Q on the wave to like perma shove it? Okay, then I have to actually auto more, right? Because I need to match her push. I don't want to just give it up. It's just the fact that it's literally just not to leash to get an advantage, so you get ahead in auto attacks level 1, because they have double ranged. So if you don't do this, then they will be ahead from the get-go, right? So that's the idea.
Okay, so I'll start ahead in the push slightly and be kind of negating their push, and then probably their range advantage will eventually take over, and maybe by the 2nd wave or 3rd wave they have the push, but at least I negated a bit of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, if you're spacing well, I think you can probably just shove them. Like if you wanted to, you could just spam shove the first 2 or 3 waves if you wanted to. Because you're playing into this specific like double range matchup. This is only applicable to when you play against Caitlyn Karma, Caitlyn Lux, like Ezreal Karma. This type of bot lanes that wants to bully you perma. In another scenario where they play like Nautilus or something, this process is a lot fucking easier to do because you are just you just have to worry about one character, which is the AD. The no support is not really gonna push, right? That's
okay,
it,
cool.
right? Yeah.
Thank you. That's
I'm good, bro. Okay. And now, you know, since we are like in lane at the same time, this is what we have to do, right? Like you're playing, like you can't really, you know, get pushed in this matchup if you're even. I think what you're doing here is actually good. Like I would just want them to push as fast as they can. Like, do you see actually how they're also making a mistake here? Like they are
they're over pushing it.
Yes, they're over pushing super hard. And this is what's so funny, right? Like people will do this mistake like over and over, but I think once again, like League is basically played in turns, right? Like it's basically like chess. This is what's gonna happen now is that if they crash this wave as well, this second wave, they just auto shove it, then the next wave will be a lot more on your side, and you have cannon wave then as well, and ideally you're probably like full HP as well if they're just like auto shoving. And then you can actually maybe fight back, right? Once again, this matchup is a bit tricky because they're playing like this matchup is so hard for you, by the way. Like I'm telling you now, like Caitlyn Senna into Braum, like Braum is, if this is played in high challenger, you guys cannot lane. Like yeah, I'm just gonna let you know, like right now, you need like an early gank to live or something, but it's really hard this matchup, like first 4 levels. So it's just good to pay attention to what they're doing as well, right? Because your options are really limited here. You can only really last it, but I want to coach you as well for like if you play this type of lanes or if you play, you know, with a range support, just really like don't shove too fast. Like this, what they're doing is completely grief. Like they wanna stack a big wave, like as big of a wave as possible, because that buys them more time at your tower. But yeah, what they're doing now is they're griefing, and we thank them for that. You see how like already when they push this fast, you kind of never want the wave to be like this, because it's a lot harder for them to poke you down. They have to kind of step into almost tower range to be able to poke you, so they're for sure like fucking this up, but it's good. we're chilling. And this is my point as well, right? Like this is my point with the D-Blade as well, is that these guys are never gonna all in you, like never. So like the extra HP that you get from D-Blade is actually quite useless in this lane, and I think his longsword is OP. In some lanes, I go like if they don't have a tank here, for example, as well. Like if they don't have Sion, if they don't have Ryze, which like HP stackers, I would also consider going Fleet, because this matchup is just so fucking rough.
Actually, Fleet is really good for healing in lane. I do it. I do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's just into this matchup where I'm playing into double poke, you know.
Right.
I'm so saying.
This feels so uncomfortable for me.
I can understand that. Like, I think what I would do when you're, I think the only thing that I would try to do here differently is I would actually ping this cannon back, and like no, I don't want him to hit it. I don't want him to just get it ASAP, because I want to use this time to completely nuke the wave, you know.
Okay.
So I would ping this back, and I would just rocket this wave, and then he can last it that, you know, and you can maybe get that. But then at least you're getting. Like now when you have to use your minigun like only pretty much, then you're giving them a lot of time, right, to auto on the tower.
Oh, okay. Nice, that makes sense.
And then I would also not be scared to like last it without abilities, like when you're on the tower, because it's like actually hard to get this, you know, like the minions HP is a bit unlucky for you. And you see here, for example, I would just try because your mana is I mean, of course you cannot spam, like your E costs a lot of mana, right, but your W is actually quite fine. The reason why I'm talking so much about like this longsword start is because you are so limited in this game depending on your HP. Like if you're full HP at level 3, Braum maybe can double your creep and you guys can get an all-in, right? Like that's actually your like angle to like fight back on them. But even if you have D-Blade, you know, if you're this HP, it's not really like, then you actually cannot fight as well, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Now they start to zone a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
never mind.
Push again. So I'm just reminding you again that like imagine that we can like negate a lot of this just already level 1 from just a simple thing that's just not leashing, you know. It's really like really fucking OP. And then I think I mean, yeah, for this range creeps, of course, we cannot use, you know, before the first base, you can't use rockets to get this. You will fuck up your backline like hard.
Yeah. Did I get none? Holy, I got
I
one.
get one, yeah.
Okay.
Big.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah, don't, bro. Like I'm not here to judge you. By the way, like I don't. If you miss 50 CS, like I will tell you what I think you can do better, right? But I don't really care, you know. Like it's fine.
I care.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I don't think try is warded here. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't think they have time to do it. I think they warded here. I think you can actually spot it as well. But there is. Okay, so what I'm here actually. It's once again, you know, like once again, when this happens level 1 and they are playing this matchup, they actually have this option to do whatever the fuck they want pretty much. Like they can keep you on the tower if they want to, until someone in your teams, you know, shows up. And that's just the nature of the matchup. That's why I'm trying to like cheese in this type of matchups a lot, because if they get to play the lane in the way that they want, it's fucked, you know. So what another thing that you could do in this game is you could just go and sit in this brush level 1 with Braum, and you can look to cheese them, you know. And just once again, like we are not like doing this to play towards our own game plan. We're just doing it to fuck up their game plan, right?
Yeah. I just start hard shoving here, maybe to just take a recall.
Yeah.
Since my jungle's
yeah, I think so too. I think it's a good idea. And I think ghosts. And I think you could probably use channel base here. This is my point, right? Because now we actually don't get the Noon Quiver, which kind of blows, right? When we don't have the longsword. And I think boots is it's not bad in lanes where you want to like dodge a lot of abilities, like maybe Karma or something like this. But like they're gonna outcycle you a lot, and your fighting power with Berserker is actually a lot weaker than it is with Noon Quiver. So this is the reason why I try to get this like every game. I think it opens up a lot more options for your support as well to like find fights actually.
Oh, I actually always just rush boots without really thinking. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there is always like, you know, there's always like that's why I think the game is so fucking fun. Like there's not really like, you know, one scenario for all. Like I know that Noon Quiver is like. It's so fucking. To be honest, Noon Quiver on lane is so fucking OP. I'm not gonna lie. Like that item is just complete nuts. But
was it? So it has the passive against minions, and then it's also just a lot of good base stats.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. And also once again, like it just gives you an easier lane matchup in these games, because you can, if you start longsword, you can base a lot earlier than what you could have done if you had had the Blit.
950.
Yeah, exactly. And one wave is like it's just good to know. Like one wave is on average worth like 125 gold. That's like included with cannon and stuff. So you can pretty much count like what wave you want to base on. It's a bit like overboard. You don't have to like plan out your lane phase like this. But I'm just trying to understand what item I want to my first base. So when I'm playing Ezreal, I'm obviously looking to get 1100 gold for Tyr and Sheen, right? That's like the juicer. And for the rest of the AD carries, you know, it's almost, of course, you cannot always choose your base timer, you know. When you play into these matchups, it's hard, but it's good to have an idea, at least, because I want to use as little of my brain power as possible to think about these things, because I have to worry about so many other things, you know, like checking on the map, like deciding when to fight, when to not fight, you know, when to trade. So I don't really want to have to worry about like thinking about when I should base. I think here as well, by the way, when they are out of the lane and you shove this, essentially what you're doing now is just you're making sure that they lose 0 creeps, you know. Like to see here, you shove this into the tower and they're instantly back. Like they lost 1 creep worth of, I mean, they even got the XP for that. But what you're also doing here is that you're giving them back their turn, you know. And of course we take the tower shot as well, but that doesn't matter like in the grand scheme of things. Like it's, you know, it's a bit unfortunate actually. I thought you were out for sure. But so what I would do here,
that makes sense. Yeah.
What I would do here is and I'm not sure how you do it in other games. Of course this game is a bit specific because you play into this shitty matchup, but what I ideally try to do here always is just try to stack a slow push. Because once again, the size of the wave is gonna help me out in trading with them, and it's gonna help me out to make sure that they cannot actually do whatever the fuck they want. I think here you're playing.
Well, I was kind of, I thought I just had more time basically. I thought I'd be able, if I was gonna deny like maybe 3 creeps, I would be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I just mistimed it, I guess.
Yeah.
But a slow push is more, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So that's just the thing that like if you, let's imagine you have the slow push here once again, then Braum can actually just sit in this brush if he wants to, and you can look that they have to once they step over this line, then you can actually look to pull the trigger, right? Like now you're full HP. This is like the only timer where you actually can play like for trades. If you let them play however they want now, they will keep doing the same thing as they're doing, right? And you just have to wait for, you know, God, which is your jungler probably. Like they have to come out. So it's just once again like you know, the more you slow push, the more time you get, and it's also just using your minion wave as like a shield in a way. Like I used to think, I like to think of it as like a power play in ice hockey. I'm not sure if you watch ice hockey, but
oh, with one man down.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
The minion wave in early game especially, it's so OP. So I like to think of that as an extra man, you know. Like so, whoever has the slow push in the early game is having an extra man, you know, pretty much. Of course, in some matchup, this if you're playing against Kalista and you're 0-5, of course it doesn't matter. But I think you understand what I mean. Okay, so they're doing the same thing. This is what I'm saying. Like this is also, imagine here that they also have slow push. Like what can you realistically do, right? You can't really do much, to be fair. And I think as well. You couldn't get any pots, right? No, you couldn't. You could actually not get shit. Unlucky. So I'm just gonna say it again. Like I think they should like for sure like slow push this like way more than what they're doing, because they're not really buying it. See how they're also like just walking away from this way as well. They're not really using it. But that's good information to have as well when you are playing this type of lanes. Like we don't want to. In this matchup, I will cut you a bit of slack once again because the matchup is so hard. Like you are really limited in the early game. Like it's these like small, you know, these small like cheesy things that you can do, and also know that when you are full HP and the wave is even, that's where you or when you have the push rather, you know, when you have the slow push, that's the only angle where you can actually look for trades. It's just good to pay attention as well to what the enemies are doing, because if you play Jinx with, you know. If you play Jinx with Nautilus and you're perma pushing, then you're not doing your Nautilus a favor, you know? Like he can never fight. But if you're also playing with a Senna or Lux or whatever, you get so much more time to actually get plates if you slow push. Okay, this fight. I mean, this is good for us, I think, because you are struggling lane hard, so like getting a fight is good for us, but we just have to be patient, right? And we miss binding, so that's a blower. Okay, Vice. For sure running it. Nice, you win that. Holy fuck, what a banger. Oh, Caitlyn flashes in as well.
I healed the wrong guy, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you did, yeah.
And I go psycho.
Yeah, you go complete psycho here. Oh no, that's fucking unfortunate. Holy fuck. That is so close actually. I think in the beginning of the fight you play it really well, by the way. You have a lot of patience and you just use your front line to... Like, you can never walk into their range, right? They will just fuck you up. So you have to wait until they come. The only thing I would say is, like... I would much rather wait. You have so much CC. Like, Morgana binding, Morgana R, Braum, Q, you know? Like, one of them is gonna hit eventually. And I think... I do like your E here a bit, but I think it's just a bit too early, you know? Like, I think here we kind of just waste it. And... I'd much rather have it for when they're like, you know, trying to get out. So here, if we have it, for example, I think it's already like a lot better. They can put it here and they cannot, you know, cannot draw. Then it's just some small mechanical parts. I guess you mentioned like healing the wrong target. Like this is not something I can, you know, this we just know. And then as well, just using your ward in this like we have to use our ward here, I think, or not step out of the brush, right? Of course, now she gets healed as well. I'm not really sure if you can kill her in time, but definitely like the ward in the brush is OP, right? And I think as well, by the way, okay, so what I also want you to emphasize here is that and it's something I know myself I struggle with a lot. Like I get resets here, I just wanna completely send it, you know? Like I just wanna fucking send it. But just imagine here that like, okay, so what happens here, you know? Like they killed 2 people. You only killed 1. You killed Kate, but you killed their AD carry. So here you can actually like you can completely swap the game around here. I think personally, if you instead of flashing here, you just push in this wave, you base, you get Noonquiver, and you have Greaves, D-Blade, Noonquiver. Mamma mia, bro! Like you are chilling then. Like they don't have sums as well on their champs, so it's like a lot harder for them to play without flash. It's just free gank, right? So that's what I would try to say. Like, we really have to like think twice before we flash for a kill, especially when the enemy AD carry is dead, because that usually means that you can get free push. And if you die now, you know the wave is gonna be a lot about like RNG. Like I can't even tell what the wave is doing at the moment. Like it could be pushing to you, could be pushing to them. But it's just the fact now that, you know, we lose both our sums now. Even if you kill the Senna, I say you're for sure like dead. And I think it's just important to recognize like, okay, actually I have to think twice before I flash for a kill, because we don't really know how the wave is looking, right? And as I said, like everything is just played around these waves in the early game. I do think you get lucky here. He's pushing towards you, I feel like. But imagine we could deny Caitlyn this whole wave, right? Like then you're back. Like you're back to even. You have better base than her she does. I don't think she will have. Maybe she will have Noonquiver actually, because she got double kill. Yeah, that's it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't get Noonquiver actually. Nice. Blessed. Oh yeah, here's also something. When I see...
Let's reset the wave.
Yeah, okay, what do you think I will say?
Well, I nuked the whole wave, but it'd be nice if the wave was by our tower so we can get this gank.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect.
Or nice. Force on them.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like as I said,
I think I just see all those low health creeps, and I know that like my rockets are gonna hit 6 creeps at once, and I just want like the dopamine of seeing all this CS.
Yeah. I see, right?
That makes sense.
Yes. Again, right? Like everything about this, like this gank doesn't happen because of what you did, right? Like because if we push this gank can't happen actually. And I think as well, let's just imagine that we're in their shoes at the moment and they see you step up for the first time in the lane, right? Like pretty much. I think this is really telling that, you know, something is missing, like something is going on. I think the good thing about these things though that I'm talking about is that I don't think this is hard to learn, you know. I just have to be aware when you're actually playing the game, like and really I can't stress enough how important this is to know, because you know it, like playing AD carry, like position where your position is like everything. Like if you misstep once without flash, you're just insta dead, you know. So if we can manipulate these waves to put it in a favorable spot for us, you know, as I said, like I never want the wave to be here if I'm playing red side. So if I'm blue side, I know this and I can, you know, look to abuse it and I can look to put the wave there. Even if Morgana is not here, I think this is like okay as well. But now you see like it's a combination of things, like we just push the wave, so it's even for them, but then we also just, you know, it's really obvious that we're there looking for a gank here. I don't know if this is warded, but I think if we just a bit patient here, right? Maybe they step up, maybe they int it, but now we can't, right? Unless. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, she goes psycho here.
Super psycho, yeah, actually. Holy fuck. She has no flash, so she's just dead. This is kind of what I'm saying as well with these lanes. Especially, I feel like the... I mean, legit anything below, like, Challenger. I feel like these guys will not play it perfect, you know? And when you play Caitlyn lane, if you don't play it, like... You don't have to play it perfect, but if you don't play it well in terms of your waves and stuff, you will find out you quickly get outscaled, you know? Like, already now, even though you have a rough laning phase, it's already, like, you know, it's kind of over for you. I feel like you can sustain the lane a lot easier now, and you can actually look for honor, right? Like they want to play it really like slow and patiently, and they didn't do that, so we're chilling. Okay. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, that was bad.
Holy fuck,
I didn't get trapped though.
Yeah, what the fuck? Holy fuck.
I guess I get hit because I'm trying to auto the creep right there.
Yeah, I think so too. Like the first creep is fine to take, but I think the second one, like this is also something that is really important in these lanes, is that you will get more creeps if you're good at knowing what creeps you can't take, you know? Like you cannot get all the creeps in a matchup like this. It's just impossible. So we have to be aware of like what actually we can get, right? So what I would try to do in these scenarios when they are pushing a wave into me is I'm looking to bait their cooldowns by, you know, acting like I'm stepping up for the creep. So here, for example, I'm taking this, completely fine, and then, you know, I mean, this guy actually didn't even wait for you to step up. He's just throwing his W. But in other cases, you know, I can like tether a little bit here, and I'm just looking to bait it. And then once the cooldowns is used, then I can farm, you know.
Yeah.
But now they, as you mentioned, their trap is a bit funny. And maybe you get a gank off now as well. And that's the thing, you know, when they are pushing, like what they're doing, like they're spam pushing off cooldown, you will get punished. Sooner or later, you know, like you will just get tapped. So, I'm actually surprised you are not doing, like you're not too behind, you know, like you're actually ahead.
Yeah.
You're actually ahead. Okay. What happens here?
So yeah, I actually tell them, I said that was off tempo or something.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not our turn to go invade.
Yep, they are inting hard, like.
Oh, I don't know why I'm walking up. I should just base.
Yeah,
I think I know it.
Yeah.
I realize it.
I think it's easy to get baited into this, thinking you can actually contribute, you know. But I think this is kind of what I talk about a lot, is like being self-sufficient and being egoistic with your plan, is that your teammates are not always gonna make the correct choice, you know, even if you give them the information. So it's just good to be aware, like, okay, I did everything I could, you know, like I pinged them back, I know what I need to do, I just need to follow through with it, you know, because I can't, it's not my job to save my team, legit, like, you know. So yeah, it's just good to be aware of this. No shot that Morgana says that you are right, by the way. I never see this. I see in my games, my Morgana is pumping me to come, you know, like.
yeah.
Even though it's
That's
complete boosted. Okay, nice. What is happening actually? They're not so they don't want to play aggressive anymore, or they just want to base, I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is good base actually.
I think they shoved for Mythic, and then I wanted to
yeah.
shove for Mythic.
No, this is correct for sure. Like, this is really good. If you stay for one more wave, you will lose a lot, you know. So this is good. Was good base. If you, I would also, like, if you're planning on swapping to your blue trinket anyways, I would just put this, you know, like put your ward in the middle brush or whatever. It just gives you a little bit more control.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they get tower, but it's all good. This will happen eventually, you know, in this matchup, if they're allowed to push the advantage, which they are. Oh no.
Oh shit, this is hype.
Yeah.
Well, it's nothing much, but.
Oh, you live this? Oh wait, what?
He blocked it.
He blocked it? Holy fuck.
Yeah. Let's go.
What? That looked so weird though, no? Like, I feel like the model of Braum is like so big, I guess.
It's behind him, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he actually gets hit and then he's like falls through.
Holy shit.
Buffer.
Oh my god, no way he lives as well. Because of this. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Sick.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, holy fuck. I'm thinking here. Okay, Braum is fucking cocky. I guess you.
I'm cocky.
Yeah. I think if you wanna play this, I think you can, but you have to put your blue ticket here before, you know, because this ward does it. Like when he's in here, it's already too late. So I think if you wanna play this, I think you have to put your blue trinket like insta when you're fighting this.
Yeah.
I think you're strong. I think it's a good choice to like fight because you have the wave to see how like, and this is kind of what I'm saying as well, you know, just to kind of emphasize on what we talked about before, is that if you have the bigger wave, they can't just, especially like early levels, they can't just, you know, out attack your face. Like they have to deal with the wave. Okay, we leave this. We push in. Vi is still trying to kill you. Oh my god. Okay, nice one. That was a good bait. Good bait. Good shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was well played. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's good as well, you know, you see 2 people mid. You see 3 people mid, so no one is here, you can just shove this. Yeah, perfect, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
wait,
I
why
missed
is
that.
Wait, it's coming, wait, what? Oh, he went bot insta? Did he see you?
I thought about him too, but then I was like, oh shit, I can actually. I thought about executing, and I'm like, wait, this guy can't walk up.
Yeah, actually has no range. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And no one of their team is coming as well. Nah, okay. Holy fuck, what a like crazy turn of events like this last couple of minutes. I felt like so many things happened and you didn't die still, like.
Yeah.
What would you say your like strength are in the game? And like, would you say your lane phase is your as a weakness, or do you think that you're good in lane usually?
I play cocky, so when I win, it's very good. But sometimes I can just implode and hard lose.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the other game that I linked to. I was like, I was just egoing and hard losing against like a lane. I went 0-3, and then even though I was 0-3, like I played fights well and was okay. So yeah, lane I ego, and then actually because of your videos, I like team fighting. I actually think is much more fun now. Just clocking. I need to know where everybody is.
Yeah.
Or if I don't know where everyone is, then I should probably assume like the worst case, and then I wait for cooldowns, then I clean up. Like, yeah, I've been trying to put that in practice.
Okay,
and it's helping.
That's that makes me happy to hear, man. Like that's my goal with these videos, like actually making people enjoy the game a lot more. So that's nice. Thanks, man.
No, yeah, real.
Okay, so we get. I think your map. I have nothing to say about this. Like last couple of minutes. Like I think your map move is good. Like here for sure, you're gonna go mid. I would want to stay. Like you know, like, from now on, I would probably want to lane in mid, even though you don't have tower, because Yasuo should win hard on side against Ryze. But then, you know, like this happens and we get free picks, so like there's, you know, nothing wrong about this. Like you just go bot and pick up this wave and you kill, you know, Ryze as well. So like, you know, a lot of good things happening right now. That's for sure. Does this game, like, do you guys throw later or like what happens?
We have at least 2 throws. We take 2 4v5s. But
okay, let's see then. So what do you think what is your thought process here usually? Like, are you do you wanna like, are you usually like I'm just gonna keep farming? Do you wanna, or are you just playing to like auto-space people and like you're 3 levels up on this guy, you just wanna nuke him, or like is there any, you know, brain activity going on right now, or like what is the, you know, what's the plan?
Yeah. Drag was just taken. I mean, we can get Rift. There's no tier 1s. I think, yeah, I'm super strong. Like I want to take even fights. At this point in the game, I feel like the only macro I really know. Well, I mean, I guess you could do like a 1-3-1 or something, and like, but I mean, I would play for like I stay in mid with Braum, jungle hovers me, York, Yasuo maybe are on 2 different sides, and we choose a strong side, and we just get vision in their jungle, and then look to take. Like for example, I could push mid, we could take Rift, Morgana respawns, we get vision in their topside jungle, and then we just like look for tier 2 towers. Like that's all I can think of really.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely think you're correct, like in a way, in a vacuum. Like ideally here you just get mid push, you secure herald, you do this, right? But what I found out is that a lot of times, you know, you can have a plan, but it doesn't happen, you know. Like maybe you're Morgana and she goes bot side, tries to get a pick, she dies, you know. Like that, you know, that's what can happen as well. So I think what you need to be aware of, I think it's good, you know, like you just need to know the next objective that you want to play for, which is, you know, if this obviously if bot tower is up, you're laning, you get that tower, and then I think the next one is always gonna be the top tower if it's up, because mid tower is like a lot harder to secure, just because of the fact that you cannot slow push as much as you can on top, right, and bot. So ideally I just always take bot tower, and then I just take top, and then I take mid, you know, with herald ideally. But what I think is really good to be aware of in this mid game is that you actually have done the hard part of the job already. You have survived lane phase against Caitlyn Senna. You're 3 levels up. And what I would ask myself in this timer is, how do I lose the game from here? You know, like how can we lose from this moment on, right? And I think the answer to this is like, usually it's really simple. Like if they find you with a pick because you are overextending, you know, you can you give shutdowns and you give them a lot, right? So I think in that way you're correct. Like of course we want to play towards one side and we want to ideally have one pink, which you have here, and I would put it on the side on this this brush, either this brush or this brush, depending on what objective you want to play for. So I mean, obviously, right? If it's Herald, we put it here. If it's Drake, we put it here, right? This ward is just for you to be able to secure mid push. And I think that as well, what I would say, how do I lose the game from here, is if we fight with uneven numbers, right? It's kind of what you said, it's gonna happen. But that's what I would also be really aware of. And also, I would like to know how to use our down timers in this game, because there's gonna be a lot of them. Like Morgana is now dead, so there is realistically nothing for you to be able to do, right? Like sure, you can take this fight if you want because you have good vision. Like you know, I don't give a fuck if you kill these guys. Like you know, they're I don't know what they're doing. Like they're trying to get you, but you're 3 levels down. Like I actually haven't seen an AD carry be 3 levels down in like a long time, legit. I rarely see this. But that's what kind of my idea about this is that in mid game, it's not really your job to force a lot of plays. Like you can if you want to ego, I don't mind, you know. But in a lot of these scenarios, if you want to play for an objective, usually like a lot of times your team actually won't, you know. They will do whatever they think is the best for themselves. And what I would try to do in that time is that I only know that I need to be a part of the big team fights here in this game. Like from now on, I have 2 items. I want to try to be a part of every big fight that I can, but I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna drop a wave, or like, you know, I'm not gonna drop like 2 waves to like be a part of a random fight that has nothing to do with any objective, you know. Like I wanna have a plan here, I wanna play for this objective, and when we're not doing that, I'm just looking to secure mid push as much as I can so that enemy cannot do anything. And if there's a downtimer where literally nothing is happening, like no fighting or anything, I'm just looking to get camps, you know. Like legit, with Jinx you can just you can get all the camps. Like even if of course you don't wanna steal everything from your jungler, but she doesn't have to take all of this. So she's going topside. I would just use the downtimer here to, you know, like this wave has to be taken. I'm not sure here if maybe you're scared of Vi. I'm not sure. Maybe you're scared. Oh, we see Vi here actually.
I thought, yeah, I was like wondering if she was bot side.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be my idea here, right? Like get the next wave of mid push, and of course, in order to get mid push, we have to know where enemies are, right? Like we can't just step up here if we see that Morgana is not with us, and then it's okay to not have every mid push in the game, even if you're fed, you know. And because we have to go back to the question like, how do I lose the game from here? And I think pushing your advantage too far is for sure like one way to lose, right? I think this is like really common. Like if we get fed, you know, we try to ego on people a lot, and I think that's one of the most fun aspects of the game. So I don't want it to change that, but I think it's just good to be aware that like, okay, I can ego, but at least I want to ego if I know that we have even numbers, you know. Like I know I'm 2v2 on mid, for example, then there's no way we can lose. So there's that, right? Yeah. I think here, for example, you know, there could be a throw, because I have no clue where Vi is. Like, you know, we know that she's top side, and we have decent vision, but you know, she could be chilling in here, and now it doesn't happen, so that's good. Yeah, that's my idea.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to simplify the mid game a lot, because it's not really your job to be like, oh guys, let's go. You know, it's not your job to shot call this game. Like, oh guys, let's go for this fight, and then, you know, like play around me in fights, like peel me, you know, like do this. It's a lot. Yeah. I feel like once we let go of that thought, we should be thinking about how we can adapt to whatever game plan our team has. So if they want to go for this like crazy bot fight, it's fine if you can join it if you're strong, you know. You have 2 items here, like you for sure, if you're a part of that fight, you will win. So in the downtime between that, it's just about securing mid push, and also when there's no fighting, let it just, you know, go take Raptors, go take red, make sure that you get, you know, you keep your lead, because look at the snowball the game like fast as AD carry is usually like it's usually really risky, and it usually ends up in us, you know, like situations like this, like here, you know, again, like you're completely like sending it, and I respect it because you have the vision for it, I guess. But you know, these are the situations where maybe they just fucking send it, and we throw the game out. I mean, here you're also like playing in an elo, I guess, where I think for sure you are better than this, you know. To be fair, I'm gonna be real with you. And of course, then we can allow ourselves to have some slack, you know, like we can just ego on these people if we want to a bit, but just really be aware of, like, ask yourself, like, how can we lose the game from this point on, and try to keep it as simple as possible, because AD carry's job is not to, you know, beta fight where you win the game, you know, alone. Like you're supposed to play around your engagers and just wait for the right opportunity to fight, right?
Yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do. Yeah, I do end up like shot calling, because, well, I mean, I watch a lot of like league. I watch a shit ton of league content and coaching and everything. So like, I actually have probably better than average ideas than these other players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm down to. I mean, hopefully as I climb, other people will start having good ideas, and I can just more be the archer that just shows up to the to the fight and kills everyone. And otherwise, I can just turn my brain off a little bit and like CS, and I mean, not turn my brain off, but like just not.
I think
call.
Yeah. To be clear, like I'm not saying that if you think that the plan is good and your team is like following it, like by all means, you know, you can shot call. I'm just saying that it's. What basically what I'm trying to say is that it's not your job. Like if your teammates are making the wrong play and you can't be there for the fight, it's not your job to save them. You know? Like that's my idea. And what I usually try to do in mid game, in this game you guys are all ahead, but in a different game here, your team will actually be behind, and you actually don't want to fight unless you're on a specific item spike, right? So what I try to do then is like, I know I have my target. I know that I need to get. Let's say in this game, it's not like you guys are not stomping, and it's actually even, and you actually need 3 items to carry. That's usually what I try to do, because I'm trying to play for a specific spike and then go ham on that spike, you know. Because when you fight, if you just decide to join a bunch of fights which your team is like creating, even though you guys are not ahead and you are not on your strong point, then it's a much lower chance of actually succeeding, you know. So what I'm trying to do in that in those cases, like example, my jungle and support, they're fighting here, and it's like no Drake is up, you know. Drake is not up and Nash is not up, so like no objective is like available. I know it's a bad fight if I go there, because I know we don't have numbers. I'm just like pinging this back. I'm trying to make them not to fight, but in the end, there's not in my control, you know. Like what you pinged the blue buff, for example, you know, when they were invading, and you knew it was like fucking bad tempo play, but they did it anyways. So what I'm trying to do in that time is just like, okay, I can't be in this position, so what can I do to accelerate myself on another play, you know? So, and that play could just be like this. I can't tell you how many times I pinged off like a Drake here. It's like a second Drake, and my team is really behind, and they are still fighting it. But what ends up happening is that I get, you know, I go top, and I get to collect this wave, this wave, this wave, this wave. I get the tower as well, you know. I get 4 or 5 waves and like a tier 2 tower, and suddenly I'm on my spike, and then I can like activate myself. Then I'm like, okay, guys, now I have my spike. It's like the highest percentage chance I can get to be able to carry a fight. Okay, let's go fucking send it, you know, together. But it's a lot about like in mid game. I think if your guys are not ahead, it's a lot about they care about choosing what fights you take, and look to gain a lead elsewhere, you know, if you don't want to join. I think this is really like important. I see a lot of, personally, I don't think maybe you don't do this, but I see this a lot where people in mid game as AD carry, they legit have no plan, and all they do is just follow around the team, you know, and they lose a lot of resources that way. They lose a lot of time, and they're just, you know, they're just limiting their options a lot, because essentially what you're doing with that is that you're trusting your teammates to know what the fuck they're doing. But that's where your win rate will, if we do that, if people do that consistently, their win rate will be, you know, close to 50%, because you are just adapting to your team, you know, like you are just trusting them, but you probably shouldn't, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because this guy's dead, and you're dead too. Wait, so this is actually big. I need to go back. Okay, this is just ego, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
this
like,
is.
Yeah.
We see no one on the map. Well, I'm actually following on Morg's play. She like wants to get a pick or something.
Yeah.
And I should realize that this is just fucked immediately. I need to count. I need to be better at instantly counting.
Threats, right?
The number of the number of champions on our side and their side.
Yeah. I think.
And I think. Yeah. Well, Kaelin's dead. Maybe I fuck up because I think Cyan's dead here, so it's a 3v3, but then I see the teleport. So the fact that I'm autoing Vi here is just troll.
Yeah, like maybe you don't actually see the TP when the fight is beginning. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, it's a 3v4 and this guy's one shot.
Yeah, this guy got completely
So I need to get out.
Yeah. Maybe that's maybe that's another thing where you can maybe look to improve on, like identifying when your team is inting, you know? Because here you are, I think you can for sure, this tower is free, right? But afterwards we have to look at, as you mentioned, like, okay, so Jorg is dead, Yasuo is bot, like there's only us three here. We have, you know, we have actually no vision on anyone at the moment. So I definitely think you're right? Like I think we have to be able to like look at how many targets we have, but also like not just take a fight, like think twice before you join a fight that your teammates create, you know? I think that's the big thing as well. Because I think you're just like walking to saver insta, but we can tell insta in this replay, right? That it's just we can't do shit to help her. And I think what results now, like if she dies only, maybe you guys can contest Nash, you know? But now when we die as well, it's just gone, you know? And this is I think this is for sure like the biggest throw of the game so far, right? Maybe they do go Nash, right? Yeah, they get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think my brain was off as I was walking up to that mid tower, so I just need to have it on.
Yeah. Just remember as well, like this tier 2 tower is like, it's the ultimate like bait tower, I swear. I can't tell you how many times I see people die to this tower. And I used to do this like the same. Like I was like, okay, this tower is so low, guys. And then I get, you know, I get flanked, I get insta-died, and I lose Nash, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucking stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. You go.
I actually go a weird build. I sort of forgot. I think it's actually fine. I actually think PD stopwatch rush is better. Like I don't know if the Vamp Scepter helps me that much against them. So I'd probably not go stopwatch. I mean, not go Vamp Scepter next time.
I think
it just delays the spike, but I don't know.
I think Vamp is good if you play into poke champs, you know? Like maybe they have like a Varus or something. Maybe they have like a Asir on mid or like a Jace, you know? Then I think that this item is really good. But I think in this scenario, I agree with you. I don't think it's the best for sure. I think there's a lot of different things you can do here. I feel like this Vi I think is going. I have no clue what she's building actually.
Full damage.
Full damage.
Eclipse collector.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think you can actually finish PD before you go into doms. I would say that like, you know, sometimes you go seal and then you go insta doms because this guy is so fucking tanky. But I think in this game you don't actually need that. You know. I think this going PD ASAP is fine.
Actually, that's one. Well, I'll ask you later. Actually. Well, actually, yeah. Like.
Yeah, it's fine.
So. I got like my duo got pissed at me last week because there was a Tom Kench that was tanky. He said I should get Lord Dom's third, so Kraken IE Lord Dom's, and I did Kraken IE PD. I think that makes sense. I mean, I used to like I have 500 games on my Diamond 4 account, maybe 400, and I would do Kraken PD every game like this season. And I only recently started going Kraken IE, and my win rate like increased.
Yeah.
So I don't know shit clearly, but like,
yeah.
do you have any ideas on the build path? Is it? I think Gale Force is actually pretty shit unless like it's an amazing Gale Force game. So probably Kraken IE, and then what do I do next?
Yeah. So I think that I definitely agree, right? Like I think PD second right now is not good because Slipful Tempo is like, you know, that's the attack speed that you actually need, you know? Like going Kraken into IE I usually always do if the enemies are a bit tanky, you know? Like in this game, for example, they have like 2 tanks actually. So I think here going Kraken into IE into probably Doms as third insta is the best because you get so much raw damage. And usually, once again, like when you get Recess as Jinx, you don't need a attack speed item. Like you get so much, you know. You get to stack this like super fast as well. I think with Gale Force, it's really situational. Like if you guys don't have, let me see if I can find a game here. If they have a lot of yeah, this game I would go Gale Force for sure. Like I think like because they don't really have the tankiest of champs, but all you have to do is you have to live their engage, you know. like Vi ulting you, or you know, Talia doing some stupid shit. And just the fact that they don't have these tanks, I think is what's telling me to go Gale Force. And this, it's basically just if they have like an active that just fucks you, you know, like if they have like maybe Hickory multi and you don't have, you know, you don't have cleanse, for example, and of course they, you know, in this game, for example, you can't go in this game you can't go Gale Force because you lose so much damage, you know, like that's the thing, like so Gale Force is just used for comps where they have some sort of like full engage, like all in, like Vi ulti, for example, or you know, in this game it's not enough, I feel like, to justify the Gale Force. But if they have like follow up with this as well, you know, like you have Gale Force, they have Vi, maybe they have like you know, Camille on top lane, for example, and they have like Nautilus support or some shit. Just a lot of things that you actually, you know, when you play low mobility champs, if they have Nautilus here, for example, I think then it increases your Gale Force value by like a ton. But then again, you have Braum, so you know there's not really like a cookie cutter answer. There's not really like, okay, every game you go this build, or you know, it's really like situational. But I would say is that like Gale Force into a lot of threats, like, you know, maybe they have like Zed or Akali, like a lot of assassins, or a hard engage, like not R or Vi R, or you know, so it's obviously you can't dodge. And then I would say Storm Racer. I think I saw it maybe you did once.
I tried it. I actually kind of hate it.
Yeah. It's a really different playstyle, right? I usually take Storm Racer if I need need to kite a lot and enemies are squishy, you know. This is the most important thing. Like you can't go, you need, if they have a tanks, you need to go Kraken, like there's no other way, you know. I think if you go Storm Racer and Gale Force, we are trolling, I think, so we can't do that. So I think you're probably Kraken into Gale Force here, and then you know, you can itemize whatever you want like after, but probably not a seal item in a lot of games, I feel like, actually, because I think there's a lot of time where like Kraken IE into BT or Kraken IE into DOMs is like really it's really OP. Like here, for example, you know, like Kraken IE into DOMs here is fucking nasty. You will kill all, like you will be complete tank killer, and you won't, I don't think you will miss your attack speed a lot, like, because you're playing for the fights, right? Like you won't up waves, so you don't need attack speed to kill waves when you have this build, and once you get reset, you're just completely sending it, right? So that would be my 2 cents on the matter.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what happens here?
He also hits a 3-man on the bottom.
Oh, that is naughty. Okay. Yeah, but your patience in this fight is good though. Like I will say that, like, cause I think there's a lot where a lot of people will just try to do as much damage as they can in the beginning of the fight, and they just get collapsed on, you know, and they just insta die. So good patience here. Of course, you're playing into a comp that is really like low range, like these three. So I guess in a way you just have to wait, right? But I think you're doing what you can do here. Like, I think it's good. And we just aced them. What the fuck? Ha! What the actual fuck? So you know, kind of my YouTuber, when I talked about team fights, this game is like actually quite simple, right? Like if they don't have Vi ult or Vi Q, and Ryze is not flashing onto me with his stun, and I just have to dodge Sign ult, like there's like 3 or 4 spells you actually have to dodge here, you know, this game. It's like Senna W as well, but there's like a really few CC spells that you have to care about. So we can keep that in mind.
I actually played the Tukaki, I think, now that you mention it.
This?
I didn't know if Vi had flash, and I didn't know if she had ulti. I mean, right here, I'm way too fucking close.
You think so? I think...
Well, I don't have flash either. I don't know.
I'm watching her position, and I'm thinking, like, okay, you're full HP
like right here. If she could flash Q from me, here.
Maybe here, yeah. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe she just taps you then. I think what you, I'm not sure if you watch the whole video of like the teamfighter thing, then we have to also like, you know, take into consideration like our own tools, like Morgana Black Sheep, for example. Actually, Morgana is so fucking nutty this game. So maybe that's what she's scared of as well, right? And of course, you can't always trust your teammates to put their CC at the right timer, but I think you have to think about as well, what is this guy thinking when he's like queuing here? He thinks that Morgana has Black Sheep, so he's like really scared to go in, you know? So I do agree. Like if she flashes on you, maybe there is an angle, right? But you also have Braum or Gun. I think you're safe. To be fair, I don't think you can't get Q and R. You know, like you will get Q'd and then Morgana hopefully will black shield you, and then you know you just send it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, what's the build now, bro? Are we going with Zen or what?
I'm finishing my my PD.
Oh,
At this
yeah.
point, I
Yeah,
forgot. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, I don't have PD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I usually never do this. This was
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Because imagine like I just want to say like imagine we finish PD and then we go into BT and we don't have DOMs, you know. But they're like heavy HP stackers and you guys are kind of full AD as well, you know. Like they will for sure itemize into armor. And this is an idea where this is the reason as well why I try to go DOMs a lot of the time as well. If I see that my team has FAD, like maybe they don't have, maybe enemy team doesn't have much armor right now, but they will for sure, you know, itemize like 100%.
Yeah.
It's good to be prepared. In this game, once again, in this game it doesn't matter as much because you're so fucking fed, but I'm trying to also coach you for other games, you know, where maybe this game is like a lot closer and like every inch like matters. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar. Oh, this guy. What the fuck? Okay, bro, I've seen this. I've seen you win.
It doesn't work.
Can Bromis hit one, like, can you just auto attack rights and you can win? Like, okay, why still at ulti? Fuck. Okay, it's good that you swap to, like, you're trying to hit the closest target that you can, but then as soon as you can hit Rise, you swap target, you know, like, there's no way we kill this Sion in time. So it's good that you swap. It kinda blows, I think he should just kill himself here to get an auto attack off. But then again, you would for sure die when Vi has ulti like that. Okay, that was good. It was good effort. I think you did well here. Like you were kiting downwards, but you also could deal damage. So I would say, like, you know, like that's what I'm kind of saying. I think if you can abuse this like lane mechanics a lot more with, like, you know, this slow push, like these informations, I think that you're usually this is what happens. Like usually my AD carries that I coach are usually their team fights is their strength. You know, I feel like it's quite similar to you. I feel like you're playing most of these fights like actually decent. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, we shouldn't be in this position because we are, you know, we are 5-3. But you know, with that in mind, and that's the only thing I would say about this fight. Like when this happens, like look what's happening right now. Like you guys are pushing mid, you guys are pushing top. If you just live this, then we're getting so fucking much right. Of course, this is fine, but I think maybe here I would run. But of course, it's easy to say now with like everything in hindsight, right? Like if Vi doesn't have ulti here, I think you can clean like.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
So I guess the two deaths that you had, that like this death is, I mean, of course it's not good to die, but I feel like the both of your deaths here is just us not really taking it into consideration how many numbers we have and how many like they can have, right? Because I think we see. So I think that's just. There's something to be aware of, right, when you're actually in this game. Once again, like, how can we lose the game from here now on, right? And I think we answered it, like, having uneven numbered fights. Like, I know here that you... Of course, I don't expect us to fucking play perfect as well. I want us to have fun. Like, if you feel like this VS... Here we know that they have numbers, but we're sending it anyways. You know, maybe we can get, like, montage play. I don't mind, you know? But it's just good to be aware of, like, the reasons of your deaths. Because both of them were, you know, about just taking on uneven numbered fights and... going for a play which your team like kinda engaged on, and we just followed it.
Yeah, makes sense. I think I actually was calling for the bot rotation.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I thought we had at least 4, and we could walk it out.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't realize that Morg just stopped to push the middle.
It's that's also again, right? That's kind of my thing. Like, it's really good if you ping. I like your communication actually as well. I mean, like, not a lot of educators use their pings, and I just want you to take it to the next step and be like, okay, I am making my plan, but I also have to be adapting to what's happening. You know, like if they don't want to go, I have to be aware. Like I can't just make the plan and then everyone shows up. You know, like usually like this. It's really hard to get like 5 people on board at the same time. Just be aware of this, right? Like when you're making a plan, just make sure that like you are adapting as well to what your team is actually doing, because what we talked about prior, right? Like you don't actually, like in this game, I think you actually don't need to do the correct play at all. All you need to, like, you know, you should still look to make the correct plays, and you should still look to play the game correctly, right? But it's just in this game, it's just good to be aware that it's not needed to win the game, you know? Like all you need is a 5v5 fight and you're good, you know? Like you should be able to carry this game alone, I feel like, as long as you guys are 5v5, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But of course, like don't stop like pinging and don't stop communicating your next objective. Like that is good, you know. Like I'm just saying that like never is a league game like any near towards perfect, you know. Like there's always some shit going on. It's always chaos.
That makes sense.
Okay. Wait, it's similar. Like okay, we're actually chasing this. Okay. Hey, I would also like just go and push out bot way, to be fair. I feel like here it's like, you know, they will for sure just run. I think. Because they're two. And I would just push out bot here and make sure that, like, you know, we can actually play for this tower. Because now you see Yas has to like actually pick up the wave, and we could already be hitting this tier 2, right?
Yeah, that's true. I thought we could catch them, but I guess you knew right away that we couldn't catch them. Right?
I mean, it looked really sus, right? Like they have, well, you have to think about what they're seeing. Like they have 2 people running to mid. And there are only 2 people here. Like, why would they actually turn this? You know, like that. Maybe you thought that you could chase them down. Then I respect that. But what I'm seeing is like, with your tools, like when this Morgana Q doesn't hit, there is like no way you can chase them. Like if you have, you know, Kled ulti or something, then of course we chase them, right? But you have no tools to actually chase them. So.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, did Vi? Wait, what? Did Vi actually get out in the Senna pool? She's here. Oh yeah, she's long gone.
Yeah.
She's at tower now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a misjudgment. That makes sense. I thought they could be rushing Baron.
Oh, okay. I see.
Like Rise Caitlyn or something.
Oh.
When we were fucking around over here.
Oh, you thought there were too many hits? Like.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what you have
little spicy call.
Yeah. I think what they have to think about as well is once again like how is it possible for them to like just beeline into Nash when you have like top push, right? That's like my idea here. I think it's really like, I think if I'm them, I'm like thinking, okay, I want to kill this Yorick first before I go into Nash, right? Because if they start Nash now, they're not gonna do it fast enough without the jungler, I feel like. But to be honest, I'm also doing this like, I swear, whenever I don't have vision on Nash, I'm always thinking like, okay, maybe they're on it, you know? I'm like always stressed about this. So I'm like similar.
Oh, this fight's tragic too. Fuck.
Yeah. It should be good, I think, still. But then, of course, maybe now is the time where we... Oh, us not having domes is bad. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I can see it. I can see it why you wanna flash after this Kate, but I think when I saw this, I'm like, okay, actually we have to, you know, like if we kill the Sion, your Yasuo actually stays alive as well, and they actually cannot fight. I think you can kite this out as well with Ryze, but actually maybe I as well think that it's, you know, kind of like Ryze is bot. Okay, he has TP most likely.
Yeah, this guy gets one shot. And then we have a one-shot play.
Yeah. Okay.
Sion does a ton of damage to Yasuo here.
He fucking
ult autos him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's just instant is hitting too.
Yeah, I think it's just even if you get the skill. I mean, I can see it once again, but I think it's just better to play with your front line, right? Like your Yasuo and your Braum. Like you guys have so much damage. You will one-shot the Sion. I think legit you kill the Sion before Ryze has time to come, you know? Like here already, he's stunned. By the way, he's stunned. He cannot actually hit Yasuo as well when he's stunned, right? And I think Caitlyn can't really contribute to this fight anyways. It's the same thing, right? Like once again, it's really think twice before you flash over for like a kill like this. Like imagine Caitlyn here has... Did she flash out or? Like imagine she has flash as well, you know? Then the fight is just over insta, you know? So
I think I thought Morgana her chains were gonna like about to hit.
But
yeah, you're right though.
That's fair.
And I think we pick them here,
Oh fuck!
and we just like
This game is really crazy, man. Like, but there's not any setup, you know. There's just like fights into fight into fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking funny. So like in this game as well, like you've been fed pretty much, you know, from laning phase. Like after laning phase was done, you have been strong in the game. But I'm just saying that like there will be other games where you're not as strong and the game is a lot closer. So just try to use this mid game as like try to use your teammates in a way to get ahead yourself. So if you know that they're taking a fight that is bad for them, you know that they're gonna die. So then maybe your top lane is here and you're like, okay, nice, actually I can catch top wave, you know, like I can farm the waves that my top lane for sure won't be able to, and you can essentially farm like two lanes in a way. Like you can get mid push, then you can go catch top wave, and you can take camps on the way, right? Because your jungle is also here inting. That's what I try to do a lot in mid game. And just once again, like try to play hard for your spike, because that's the highest like percentage chance you will have to carry the game, if the game is even, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get Nash. This guy is... Wait, no, this guy is with you, but he's
I actually don't think we end.
No, I don't think so as well, right? It's 20 sec, like... I don't think... But you get double in it, that's good. And you get doms. Okay. I think I tried to base like earlier here, because you have like 1 minute to soul. And if you don't base now, you will be late. And I think we actually, I mean, sure, getting red buff is nice, but I think getting this soul is actually even more juicy, right? You also already have, here you already have doms, you know. So here I would just look to sync base timers with my team usually. So we're actually on the same page. Like I know I fucked this up myself a lot actually. I'm like always grading for this camp as well, but I know it's a bad habit that I need to like work on. So it's good to pay attention to this, because now, you know, we're so late. Like imagine here we are with Braum, you know.
Yeah.
Already. Katie steps in here. She can't.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, they're early to it. We're late.
Yeah. And maybe once again, maybe in this game doesn't matter because you tap Y and she's low. But in a different game, they will actually play with Bren, you know, and they will not just ooga booga fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Mr. Win, right? Here. Wait, what? That looks so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was actually, my model was knocked up for longer, but right here I can hit. But I didn't realize it.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
It didn't make sense though.
Yeah. We're jinxing this patch, by the way, when you get resets, like you have unreal amount of attack speed. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. I think in this game as well, it's like, you know, your team comp kinda counters like all of them. Like they have low range carries in Ryze, and you play Jinx. Like how can Ryze ever, you know? They can never like hit you. And when you have Braum and Morgana as well into Vi, like this game is crazy for you. Like in late game, like it's really like, you know, it should be easy to team fight. Okay, we have send off of this, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we get Soul as well, big. Okay, actually impressive. I think you can for sure like climb higher than. What did you say your peak was actually?
Well, I got my other account to Diamond 4 and then I stopped.
Yeah.
I mean the D4 games, some feel hard. I mean, I'm probably a D4 player right now, but I should try to get a little higher.
Wait, plot is Diamond is after this, right? Or is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, bro, you can get higher for sure. I think there is just, you know, like these things that we kind of talked about. I think just trying to understand how like lane dynamics work a little bit more. Like try to watch more videos about this as well. And I think what I try to do is just ask myself, in order to practice, like I'm just trying to ask myself a bunch of different questions. Like, you know, these questions are really good to be able to keep you keep your mind stable in the game, I guess. Like, you know, keep focusing on what's actually good to focus on. And I think this, you know, what we talked about, like play for specify, this applies more when you're playing a game that is not, you know, like to be fair, I never was scared this game that you guys would throw, you know. I feel like your team comp is just 10 times better than opponent. Like you win side, you win mid, you win, you know, you outscale bot like super hard, and they cannot team fight into your comp. So like once you get like one kill and you get out of lane phase, the lane phase part was the hardest fight, like for sure in this game. And just be aware of what we talked about in this regard. Like you can get a lot of advantages just by doing small things, like asking yourself again, like what they want to do, and then adapt to that, right? Like for example, don't be scared to like look for cheese, you know, like you guys are actually strong level 1 if you guys can get a fight, try to as well, like really try to start longsword like a lot more, and like actually try to get Nukeweaver, you know, ASAP, because I think there's a lot of fights here where Nukeweaver will actually benefit you a lot, and then look to once again, like really understand why I hope you understand why I explain this thing, like why I'm talking so much about like lane, because once again, like everything is just played around this played around the size of the wave. And if you know this, and if you also know what your opponent is doing, like here for example, now we can see that, like, you know, the whole game they were just auto shoving, then we know, okay, nice, they are griefing. I know that I'm better than them, and I just need to survive the hardest part, and then I will stomp them, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? Makes sense. Yeah. Do you have any questions like about this or anything like in general?
Yeah. I mean, no. I think lane. Yeah. What you're saying. I think lane is what I need to work on here. Yeah. The stuff about the waves makes sense.
If you find like another question, you know, maybe you think about the session for a bit. I also recorded the session, so you can watch it back. Maybe you have questions, you know, after that, so you can also just DM me like whenever. You don't have to even go through the ticket. You can just like, you know, I will just actually copy this and DM you it now, because I will close this ticket like when we're done, because I get otherwise I can't, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I mean, I want to improve in lane. I think you mentioned a lot of like things having to do with being more aggressive and more punishing. Yeah, just like way more high level than what I'm used to. So I guess like but also, so what I try to do is I try to look up like streams of, you know, Gumayushi, Pays, Ruler, Viper playing like Jinx. There's really not that many on YouTube, so maybe I need to look at other champs, or something. But like,
you know, in my Discord, there's like here, for example, like knowledge links. Here's like a lot of streams you can look, like Korean pros and Chinese pros. You can watch them play Jinx. I think they for sure like they play it.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you gonna say something else, by the way? Like, I feel like you were.
Well, yeah. I feel like yeah, so you taught me some principles, but I think I need to improve my my like studying of what pros are doing in lane. And I think with the Pays, I've watched actually all your vids.
Okay, cool.
With maybe the Ruler one or the Pays one, you were playing it live on stream, and you would pause the video and you would like predict, or you'd say like, well, if this were me, then I would try to like push this wave and then rotate to drag or something, and then you'd press play and you'd see what he did.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that kind of thing?
Yeah, that is OP. I think like you learn so much, and you as well like activate your brain where you are actually thinking about why they're doing it. Like when you say that you will do this, and then they do something differently, then you're instant to the, you know, then you're already asking yourself like, okay, why? Like why is it different? Why are they doing this? And I think it's really strong actually. I should do that more, to be fair. Like I think I could benefit a lot from that. So definitely like that is good, you know. I wanted to show you this like fast before we run it out, like because this, I feel like once again your matchup was a bit hard to be able to do this. But in this session, this guy is like, I think it was gold or something, but it doesn't matter. Like the principle is the same. What he did is that in this matchup he can get prior whenever he wants, you know. Like he's playing Jinx into Twitch, so he has the control of the wave. And look what he's doing. He's basically doing the same thing as Caitlyn and Sana did. So here, what I would do is that I would, once again, here we can establish that we don't have control of the wave yet, because, well, we have the same amount of creeps, right? So what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to make a slow push happen and get more creeps than my opponent. So The good thing about this is that I have a range advantage on Twitch, so I actually don't have to just nuke this wave in right now. I can just be positioning myself here and play to punish Twitch whenever he's looking to auto attack, right? And I don't actually have to push because I know that in this matchup I have range advantage and I can get level 2. You know, the second this wave, next wave comes, I can get level 2 whenever I want. But what this guy is doing here is that instead of using his minigun to auto the wave, he is, you know, doing the same thing as, you know, Caitlyn Senna. So here, he's already over pushing, you know? He is already like pushing like this super hard. I know I'm typing a bit here, but ideally here, now, when he has done this, now he has the control of the wave. Like, here, he has control. He has more creeps than his opponents, even though it's not like an insane amount. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. Once you have control, you need to stop push, and you need to stop worry as much about these creeps, because these creeps will be yours to take like free, and I would much rather focus on punishing enemy creeps on his last hits. So here, like, do you see what this Twitch is doing? Like, he's like he's fucking running it. Like, he's for sure he wants to die. Like,
so just auto Twitch, and maybe like Soraka would be like, you'd be kind of be fighting for control of mid bush and autoing Twitch here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the knowledge just has to be, you just have, like, the thing that I can't teach is like, you know, I can't teach you how to get pushed in every matchup, you know, because you can't, like, you know, but and that's something that you have to know yourself. But I think as Jinx, you probably know about this a lot of the time, and I think if you know that you can get push, just try to do this like a lot of the time. Like, as soon as you have control of the wave, just stop push and look to create a bigger wave as possible, and look to punish them on their losses, so that you actually are pressuring them a lot more, right? I think this will go like a long way. It's something small I wanted to show you, but I felt like I couldn't really explain that in this lane, because you can't really do the same, you know? Like, you can't really slow push into these jumps. Like, they will just tap the wave. So yeah, that's
okay.
that's it, right? Yeah. All right, man.
Thank you.
I will upload a session when it's